Ever feel a chill down your spine when you think about your Newton crypto trades and the CRA? You're not alone. The world of crypto is exciting, fast-paced, and full of potential, but when tax season rolls around, many Canadians find themselves asking the same question: how do I report all of this to the Canada Revenue Agency without getting hit with a massive penalty? Let's be real, the thought of an audit is terrifying. That letter in the mail from the CRA, the meticulous review of your finances, the potential for fines and interest. It's enough to make you want to stick your head in the sand. But I'm here to tell you that with a little knowledge and some clear steps, you can confidently navigate the process of reporting your Newton trades and sleep soundly at night. The first thing we need to get straight is the CRA's perspective. They don't see crypto as a currency, they see it as a commodity. This is a crucial distinction. It means that every time you sell, trade, or even use your crypto to buy something, you are triggering a taxable event. The CRA treats these transactions like barter transactions, and they expect you to report any gains or losses. The key to staying compliant is understanding what constitutes a taxable event and how to calculate the outcome of each one. So, let's break down the types of transactions you might have on Newton. The most common one is a simple sale. You bought some Bitcoin, the price went up, and you sold it for Canadian dollars. That's a capital gain. Conversely, if the price went down and you sold it for a loss, that's a capital loss. But what about trading one crypto for another, say, Bitcoin for Ethereum? Yes, that's also a taxable event. The CRA sees this as you disposing of your Bitcoin and then acquiring Ethereum. The value of your Bitcoin at the time of the trade is considered the proceeds of disposition, and you'll need to calculate your gain or loss based on that. Even using crypto to buy a coffee, a book, or anything else is a taxable event. The fair market value of the goods or services you received is considered the proceeds of disposition. The big question, then, is how to track all of this. Newton, like many exchanges, does not provide a ready-to-file tax document. They give you a transaction history, and that's it. It's up to you to turn that raw data into a report the CRA will accept. This is where many people get tripped up. Manually calculating every single buy, sell, and trade can be a nightmare, especially if you're an active trader. The sheer number of transactions, the fluctuating prices, and the need to track your adjusted cost base, or ACB, for each coin can be overwhelming. So, what is the adjusted cost base? This is a fundamental concept for crypto taxes in Canada. The ACB is the average cost of all the units of a particular cryptocurrency you own. Every time you buy more of that coin, you need to recalculate your ACB. When you sell, the gain or loss is determined by the difference between the sale price and the ACB of the units you sold. This is a continuous calculation that needs to be done for every single cryptocurrency you hold. Let's do a simple example to illustrate. Imagine you buy one ETH for $1,000 on January 1st. Your ACB for that one ETH is $1,000. On February 1st, you buy another one ETH for $1,500. Now you have two ETH, and your total cost is $2,500. Your new ACB is $2,500 divided by 2, which is $1,250. On March 1st, you sell one ETH for $2,000. Your gain is the proceeds of disposition, $2,000, minus the ACB of the unit you sold, $1,250. That's a capital gain of $750. You still have one ETH, and its ACB is still $1,250. Now, imagine you did this hundreds of times a year with multiple different cryptocurrencies. It's easy to see how this becomes a massive undertaking. This is precisely why most people don't do it manually. The most efficient and accurate way to handle this is by using a dedicated crypto tax software. There are several popular options out there, and many of them integrate directly with Newton. These services are designed to take your raw transaction data and automatically calculate your capital gains and losses, keeping a running tab on your ACB for you. This saves you from hours, or even days, of tedious spreadsheet work and significantly reduces the chance of making a costly mistake. So, how do you get your transaction data from Newton? The process is straightforward. Log into your Newton account, navigate to the Statements or Reports section, and you should find an option to export your transaction history as a CSV file. This file contains a detailed record of every transaction you've made, including deposits, withdrawals, buys, sells, and trades. Once you have this file, you can upload it directly into a crypto tax software of your choice. The software will then analyze the data, apply the CRA's rules, and generate a comprehensive tax report for you. This report will typically include a summary of your capital gains and losses, a detailed breakdown of each taxable event, and often, the exact forms you need to file with your tax return. The most common forms for this are Schedule 3, for capital gains and losses, and the T1 income tax and benefit return. Now, let's talk about the distinction between business income and capital gains. For most individual investors, your crypto activity will be treated as capital gains. This is the more favorable tax treatment, as only 50% of your capital gains are taxable. However, if the CRA determines your activity is more like a business, then 100% of your income is taxable. What determines this? The CRA looks at several factors, including the frequency of your trades, the length of time you hold your crypto, and whether you are using specialized software or sophisticated trading strategies. For the average person who is buying and holding, even with a few trades here and there, capital gains treatment is likely. But if you're day trading or making hundreds of transactions a day, you might fall into the business income category. If you're unsure, it's always best to consult with a qualified accountant. Another thing to be aware of is the foreign property rule. If at any point during the year you hold specified foreign property with a total cost of over $100,000, you are required to file a T1135, Foreign Income Verification Statement. This can be a factor for crypto investors, especially if you have significant holdings on exchanges outside of Canada. What happens if you don't report your crypto gains? This is a question no one wants to ask, but it's important to address it. The CRA has a growing focus on digital assets. They are actively working to track down and audit crypto investors. They have a shared reporting process with FINTRAC, Canada's financial intelligence unit, and they can compel exchanges to provide them with customer data. If they find you haven't reported your gains, the penalties can be severe. You could face fines of up to 200% of the taxes evaded, plus interest, and in extreme cases, even jail time. The risk is simply not worth it. So, to summarize the process of reporting your Newton trades to the CRA, you need to: first, understand that every disposition of crypto, whether a sale for cash, a trade for another coin, or a purchase of goods, is a taxable event. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.